Welcome back to Kryptolytix, giving you a fresh take on crypto analytics. Today, I'm going to talk about Mango Markets and the latest hack or exploit and do a bit of a dive into what we know so far. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start chronologically, I guess. So back in March this year on the 30th, there was someone in the Discord on Mango who publicly posted this. And they basically outlined how today's exploit could take place. So they basically handed someone who had a lot of money the keys essentially to carry out this exploit. And it's pretty crazy. If you see here, they're basically outlining just about everything that went down today with regards to the exploit. And you can basically see this in the Discord, but pretty uncanny that it was basically discussed and it was outlined how the attack could take place essentially. So that's pretty nuts. So I believe it's something in the order at the moment of about $150 million, which is not as much as the BNB exploit from last week, which was about 560 million, I believe, or 586 million from the protocol on the Binance Smart Chain. But this is still a pretty big deal. This is quite a large hack, no doubt. And it's basically just a protocol on Solana. So Solana itself hasn't been hacked. There's nothing particularly wrong with Solana as a blockchain per se, but this is one of many protocol attacks on blockchains essentially, and there's been quite a few this year and even last year. And I mean this comprehensive, not so comprehensive list, and I say not so because there's a few things missing, like the Slope wallet hack, for example, but you can see, for example, 2022 we've got already 27 exploits, and so far this list has got 104 essentially, 3.6 billion US dollars at the time for these exploits. And I'm guessing this one will make it to the list, as well as I'm hoping the Slope wallet and anything else that's happened recently, like the BNB one. I mean, this person has a lot of work cut out for them, whoever's keeping this website up to date. But you know, on this list they've got 65 hacks on the Ethereum network. Ethereum's still going strong, I guess. So Harmony, they didn't really quite survive that one, so that was a bit of a shame. BNB chain, 27 hacks, and that's not even including the one from last week. They've only got 2 on here, and that includes the Casio one that I discussed in a few videos ago. But as you can see, it's not unique to Solana, and DeFi hacks are going to happen because it's all down to the programmers that are creating these protocols on top of the blockchains. So just prefacing that this is not just a Solana thing. The blockchain is still fine, but yeah, I mean, we have bridge attacks left, right, and center, flash loan attacks, which is usually within money markets, which Mango Markets was, but this was not a flash loan attack. So Otasec is a really good page. They have made some pretty good threads so far on this attack. So as they say here, it was not a flash loan attack, as I just mentioned. The attacker addresses were funded 5.5 million via FTX, and it appears that the attacker manipulated prices across all exchanges, not just the Solana Oracle. This is one thing that was being said, is that it was a manipulation of the Oracle. So basically the attacker created a $480 million Mango perp position, so that's perpetuals on Mango. And that is the token for Mango Markets, their native token, and they counter traded themselves on another account. So they basically manipulated the price of Mango up across a number of exchanges, borrowing against their unrealized Mango gains to drain the protocol. So they've posted some picture here, and you can see some of these positions that have been opened. This one, $10 million. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So this triggered a number of liquidations to the short side and sent Mango to the moon just about. So this was a screenshot taken by a user of the platform. And you can see that Mango went from 4 cents all the way to 21 cents. It's just a short period of time. And Mango MNGO token returned to its normal value, and the attacker account became massively uncollateralized with a $470 million contract short open. And I find this pretty cheeky that the hacker has actually made a proposal on Mango governance to try and negotiate for a bounty. They have reached out to the hacker to negotiate the bounty. And they have stated this on their Twitter that they are currently communicating with them. But the cheeky thing that I find is that the hacker basically turned around and offered to return most of the funds if the DAO promises not to pursue criminal investigations. And they used their money to basically upvote this DAO proposal. So from what I understand is they created a DAO proposal and then used their power to vote it up 100%, which is pretty crazy. As you can see, this is the DAO proposal. We think within realms, and they're saying that the Mango treasury has about 70 million USDC available to repay bad debt. And they're saying that they propose the following: the protocol passes, they'll send MSOL Sol MNGO into the account to an address announced by the Mango team. Mango treasury will be used to cover any remaining bad debt in the protocol, and all users without bad debt will be made whole. Any bad debt will be viewed as a bug bounty insurance paid out of the Mango Insurance Fund by voting for this proposal. Mango token holders agree to pay this bounty and pay off the bad debt with the treasury and waive any potential claims against accounts with bad debt, and will not pursue any criminal investigation or freezing of funds once the token are sent back as described above. And all these votes voted up. So Mango has also recently posted a few things about what they're looking at and what they can see. So they're saying at around 2200 UTC October 11, the Mango protocol had an incident involving the following: 2 accounts funded with USDC took outsized position on Mango Perp. Underlying USD Mango prices on value exchanges FTX and Ascendex, I haven't heard of that one before, experienced a 5 to 10x price increase in a matter of minutes. This led to Switchboard and Pyth oracles, which is what they use. So they don't use Chainlink, they use these 2 oracles, updating their Mango benchmark price to 15 cents plus. This further caused a mark-to-market increase in the value of the account, which was long Mango Perp from the unrealized profit, which allowed the account to borrow Bitcoin, USDT, Sol, MSOL, USDC out of the Mango Markets protocol. So Mango Markets is not only a perpetual futures exchange, but it's also a money market. So if you're up a certain amount on your trade, then you have the ability to margin borrow, so that is borrow against your current gains. So I use Mango and I've been able to do that myself, but this is on a much larger scale. They maxed out the borrows available from the 190 million equivalent deposits in the platform. And just quickly, you can see here the amount that has been drained from the protocol. Any deposits right now are making 300% APR. That's right, APR, not APY. Bitcoin is 87, 62% on Sol. So Serum 250, crazy. Look at GMT, 1500%. So am I in Mango Markets? Well, yes, I do have funds in Mango Markets. I'm pretty sure it's all gone. And, those are the kind of risks that you take when using DeFi protocols. If everything gets back to normal, then right now I'm making quite a nice APR, but I just don't see that I'm going to get that back because it says liquidity minus $250. So that includes mine, which, yeah, that's a complete drain. So pretty nuts. I mean, all you can do is laugh, I guess. And in my case and many others who are using or have used Mango Markets, they negotiate this bug bounty and the funds are returned. I mean, can only hope, but we'll see. As you can see, based on some of the communication, the hacker is in communication with Mango Markets. So we'll just have to see how this plays out. So the net value extracted by the account was about $100 million equivalent at this time. And as of 2:37 UTC, and I don't know what time that is my time, but I can tell you right now at 9 a.m. this morning when I was trying to close off my Sol short and withdraw my money, it didn't work. So funds are currently stuck on there. Well, as you can see, they're what funds? Minus 250. It's pretty crazy that this amount of money was able to be drained from the protocol. It's just actually crazy. As of now, any Mango users with deposits on the protocol are not able to withdraw assets. This incident has effectively resulted in a total draining of all equity available. Parties involved with the incident have communicated on the Mango DAO, indicating a willingness to negotiate. I feel like could have helped this is it's only on the non-KYC'd accounts, but Mango doesn't have KYC, so I feel like this probably could have helped. But on FTX, for example, there's like a $2,000 or so withdrawal limit daily. So it's something that could be picked up if they had some sort of withdrawal cap on there. I mean, hindsight's always 2020, so it's all well and good to say, yeah, like if they did this and this. Also, I'm not a programmer, I'm not a developer, so it's easier said than done with all this sort of stuff. But I'm sure that wouldn't have been too difficult to have some sort of cap on withdrawals to prevent runs and protocol drainages like this, essentially. So this really sucks. I had quite a bit of money on there, of course, but not all of my capital. I would say probably about maybe 10% of my entire net worth, which is actually a lot now that I think about it. But yeah, lost about as much in Luna anyway, so gotta take this one on the chin, right? I really just hope that the hacker and Mango can work something out. And the fact of the matter is that this hacker, or we'll just call him a hacker, I guess, they didn't really hack anything. They just are someone with a lot of money who has taken advantage to something. And if you remember with Luna, something similar happened where on Twitter, someone was basically outlining how someone could create a death spiral for Luna, and Do Kwon just shrugged it off. Well, this is probably a little bit smaller. I mean, Mango Markets is a lot smaller, but this person clearly outlined exactly how this attack could take place. And again, like nothing was done about it. So I really like what Mango Markets created, and it's a really cool protocol, and I really have enjoyed using it. However, stuff like this probably should not have been ignored. But to be honest, it's very easy in Discord for something so simple to just kind of get lost in the chat. So I definitely get that. It's a bit different to a tweet publicly posted and then the founder or the actual developer posting a reply, shrugging it off. This is an obscure post in the Discord which could easily be missed. So I can definitely give them a little bit more leeway than, say, for instance, Do Kwon shrugging off and laughing at the person that was saying, yeah, death spiral. It's definitely something that can be engineered with enough money. So this has been engineered with enough money. This just goes to show it's a bear market. This is the sort of thing that can happen in bear market, although we had hacks last year, as we saw in this list. Plenty of hacks in 2021, so we were not without hacks and Ponzi's and all sorts of rug pulls and stuff like that. So, you know, this is crypto. We're still early, it's still dangerous because in all honesty, this is the sort of stuff that's happening. DeFi survived the massive dumps that took down CeFi, but this is what we have to deal with and worry about because these users are not KYC'd, and all it takes is someone with a lot of money to basically drain the entire protocol of funds. And yeah, even Bitcoin was completely drained. And I don't know how they were able to drain more. I guess because it is a lending and borrowing protocol, when you put money in Mango Markets, basically people can borrow against that. That's the whole purpose of you putting in there. It's cross collateralized. So you put money in there or assets or whatever, and you're able to trade against that. So it means that someone can borrow those assets that you put down. It's the same as an FTX, where you can actually lend out your crypto and people can margin borrow against it. And then you get paid a borrowing fee, essentially, and that's paid out every hour. So it's the same system, but decentralized, essentially. But I'm not sure how they were able to basically drain the entire treasury, if you will, or all the equity on the exchange. Is pretty crazy. So all we have right now is all of this information as to how it was done. Not a flash loan, it was basically 2 accounts, and they basically manipulated the price of Mango to do this. And the reason why it was a lot easier to do that on, say, Mango, for example, and not the other assets traded on the market is that it has the most liquidity. So 4x is how much they were able to trade on that. Although GMT probably wouldn't have had that much liquidity, and that wasn't used, so they used Mango, probably because it's available on FTX as well. I'm not exactly sure why they did that, but let's have a look here on the 5-minute chart. So this is what it looked like, just kind of nothing. Let's have a look here. It's just like, this is what Mango's been doing for quite some time. I personally have taken shorts out on Mango before. Back in February, I took a pretty big short out on Mango and closed it in June or July, I think it was. So I haven't actually done that since, but you know, that was on Mango Markets. Just a bit cheeky, like taking out shorts against the protocol's token, although I feel like probably the people who created this protocol probably would have done something similar anyway, because you don't create a perps exchange without knowing how to do it yourself, right? But anyway, you can see this is the crazy price action. Probably doesn't really put it into perspective. It said on before it took the token price to 15 cents. I'm guessing that was just like on the Oracle, but max it kind of spiked to here was 50 cents, 55 cents it went to. Wow. So they managed to manipulate the token up 2,787%. And because there's not a lot of liquidity, it doesn't take a lot of money to move the price like that. And then essentially just short it back down again, because they took a short against it to borrow against their position. So massive long here, they were up an insane amount of money, and then basically used their profit in order to borrow against it. MSOL, Sol, Bitcoin, all that sort of stuff. They just basically borrowed against that $100 million. Wow, pretty nuts. It's not even a complex, sophisticated hack. All it requires is a lot of money to pull off. So yeah, so we don't really have anything else right now. I think that's pretty much it. So I really hope, and that's all I can do is hope, that this is negotiated with the hacker essentially. But I've been retweeting some things about it throughout the day. People are laughing about it, probably those who aren't in the protocol. So long perps to break the DEX pricing, take over the governance with profits, pass vote to make what you did legal. You know, like, this is probably one of the craziest things about DAOs, just how it's most likely that the governance proposal in Luna to create Luna 2.0 was most likely voted by people who owned or created the protocol essentially. So they would have the most Luna, most likely. So they would have the most voting power. So this just goes to show that DAOs still need some work. They definitely still need some work before we are able to use them for things outside of crypto, for example, because it's still a plutocratic system where people with a lot of money are able to cast the most amount of votes. So it's not really pure democracy, it's a plutocracy. So that's one thing. In this case, this hacker has the most amount of money on the protocol to cast votes. So it's insane, right? It's absolutely insane. So that's it for now. I don't really have any other information, and I don't think there's any available just yet, but it will come to pass shortly, I would think. And I'm sure you'll hear about this on many crypto channels. So there'll be more information in the coming days, I'm sure. We can only cross our fingers. Well, that's people like me who have money on the protocol, but we can only cross our fingers, me and the other poor souls, that the money is returned and a bug bounty is paid out. Although, to be honest, the thing about that is it makes more sense for a bounty to be paid out, because then they can legitimately take the money and do something with it, because we don't really have a Tornado Cash. We don't have all these mixing protocols essentially. So it's going to be very hard for the hacker to get away with it. So that's I'm kind of hopeful, and it might be fool's hope, but I'm kind of hopeful that because they can't do anything with this, because I would say that these funds will be blocked by exchanges and all that, they won't be able to do anything with it. So my hope is that the funds are returned back to the protocol and the hacker is paid a bug bounty. But this is probably going to be the end of Mango Markets, I would say, which is really sad because I quite liked it. I know there's other perp exchanges, decentralized perp exchanges out there like GMX and a number of others, but I just liked Mango. I thought it was really good, and I don't know, this is probably the end of it, but I really hope that the devs don't just pull the pin and run off with the funds that are returned. I think they're pretty good, these guys. I mean, they've gone to hacker houses and all that sort of stuff. People know who they are, so we can only hope, again, dealing with a decentralized protocol. But I like Mango. Would I still use it after this hack? Call me crazy, but I would, because I really liked it. I just wouldn't have as much on there. you know, so maybe like leave $1,000 on there, nothing essentially, so I can still use it because I really like it. And I use it to trade the BB buy and sell strategy, which I've posted videos on in the past. When I say that, I mean like a couple weeks ago. That is the exchange that I was using for this strategy, and it was doing very well, except for a couple weeks ago where price was ranging. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. I'll do a review sometime shortly of my strategies and see how they have been over the past couple months. But apart from that, I think you came here to find out more about this Mango hack, not about my trades. So anyway, well, if you got any value out of this video, please hit the like button, comment, and let us know what you think about this exploit. It's just another one, I guess. You know, we had the Binance hack last week, and there's just been bridge hacks left and right, so it's just another one, right? But it doesn't make it any easier, especially to those who are affected. I will be keeping my Twitter up to date with the latest goings on with regards to this incident, so if you would like to keep up to date with that, the link to my Twitter is in the comment section down below. So I will be posting everything I see in hopes that this is resolved shortly. So anyway, thanks for that. Keep safe out there. All the best to you and other fellow Mango Market users. And we can cross our fingers and hope for the best. Take it easy. All the best. See you later.